Sam Sulek won his first bodybuilding competition and took the fitness and gym community by storm. Not only did he win his class, but he also defeated people with far more experience overall, and everyone had something to say about his performance. Given enough time and effort, could Sam Sulek go far enough to qualify for and potentially win the biggest bodybuilding competition, the Mr. Olympia? To actually find the answer, we first need to understand what it takes to win Mr. Olympia in the classic physique division. This division is governed by razor-sharp conditioning, balance proportions, and posing skills that harken back to the aesthetics of the golden era. This class was actually created as a way to bring bodybuilding closer to the aesthetics of Arnold and Frank Zane. Champions like Chris Bumstead in particular set the standard for classic physique incredibly high. Chris's combination of size, shape, and flawless stage presence, combined with his incredibly handsome appearance, makes him the gold standard for the classic Mr. Olympia physique in the eyes of many. Other top competitors like Ramon Dino and Mike Sommerfeld are still vying for the title. Now that Bumstead has retired, someone new will have to emerge as bodybuilding's next superstar. His strengths include incredible fullness, thick abs, and a dominant upper body. He has millions of followers across multiple social media platforms, both because of his great physique and because he's simply a laid-back guy who does what he loves. But of course, top-level bodybuilding is more about having standout body parts. Theoretically, you can have the biggest back in the world, but that means nothing if you have weak calves. Top-level competition is fierce, and even qualifying for the Olympia, let alone winning, requires improvement in many areas. But Sam Sulek has several strengths, one of the biggest being his natural physique. His physique is simply perfect for bodybuilding, giving him a dense and well-rounded look, and his weaknesses are not overly obvious, at least in his upper body. He also seems to respond incredibly well to a combination of training and dietary regimens. His ability to gain muscle mass in a short period of time is simply absurd. It's arguable how much he's improved since he started posting on YouTube compared to now. His social media presence has also generated a huge following, which could give him an advantage in terms of sponsorship and industry support. Having this level of exposure never hurts when it comes to bodybuilding politics, but he doesn't seem to care and likely earns more than enough to support himself. His bodybuilding career relies solely on advertising revenue, but his main strength in bodybuilding is his size, as even at around 20 years old, he already has a mass that many seasoned professionals struggle with throughout their careers. He has already filled his weight class, at least at the amateur level, which is 100 kilograms. Now, if he can actually maintain that muscle mass or even work on his weaknesses while getting a little leaner, he could be a real contender at high-level competitions. Unless he changes to a different category, such as open, or loses muscle in certain areas to become more balanced. Some believe Sam Sulek has an impressive physique, particularly with his wide-set lats. A classic Olympic-level physique requires a level of leanness that reveals virtually every muscle detail. He hasn't yet demonstrated this level of sculpting, and it's unclear whether he'll be able to demonstrate it in competition. Considering he works individually and doesn't have a prep coach, his conditioning is very good for a rookie. Based on the videos I've managed to gather from his recent competitions, posing may be his biggest milestone. People like Chris Bumstead didn't win solely because of their muscles. They won thanks to their masterful presentation of their physiques. But his style leans more towards a casual or even mass-produced monster aesthetic than the artistic posing of a classic physique. If he wants to succeed, he'll need to work with several posing coaches and learn how to keep his lower body tight. After turning pro, he'd have to compete in professional league shows, place highly, and earn enough points to qualify for the Olympia, or take a different route and win a high-level professional show. Historically, even talented bodybuilders can take years to make it to the Olympia stage. And few ever do, but if he dedicates entirely to bodybuilding, hires a coach, improves his conditioning, and refines his posing, I think he has a real chance of qualifying for the Olympia. Winning is a completely different story. Beating competitors like Ramon Dino or Mike Sommerfeld would require years of mastery, learning the intricacies of the sport, but also observing the shows and perfecting the visual aspects of competition, such as his tan. Even placing in the top 5, if you compare his structure and physique to the best bodybuilders, it's fair to say he lacks the bone and muscle predisposition, despite being very good for his age.